All right, so welcome to another rapid fire business story of the week. This is part of our rapid fire series, and today we have an incredible guest with us, someone who's achieved extraordinary success and is here to share their unique business journey with you. We're excited to hear their insights, so let's welcome them to the show. All right, so as this is our rapid fire series, we've got 1 minute or less to answer each question. So in a minute or less, give us the elevator pitch to your story and your life. Go.
I trained as a nurse, was in the medical model for 20 years. Somebody challenged me and I went in to look at my core beliefs. In challenging my core beliefs, I chose to change those that said I need a doctor and pills to my body heals itself. As I started doing some work on myself, my diet, my lifestyle, I realized that actually I was healing several different conditions all at once. So in changing that core belief, I changed my life trajectory, and now I help other people to heal themselves from their from the root cause of their symptoms.
So that's fascinating, and I would love to dig a little bit deeper. So tell us a bit more about what you're working on today that you're most passionate about and believe will have the biggest impact.
I'm spending a lot of time on my podcast, Heal Yourself with Sarah Dawkins, interviewing people sharing their own healing stories, healing from a whole range of different health conditions that doctors said can't be healed. And I'm also doing some research for my new upcoming book about empathy, but not just empathy per se, it's about people's perceptions of what empathy means to them. Because we can read about what empathy means on the internet and in books, but people perceive it totally differently. So it's interesting to see the different perceptions around empathy.
So this next question is one that every entrepreneur has dealt with. Tell us about a time where you failed. We often say failure is the first step to success. So think about a time where you failed in the past. What happened? What did you learn from it?
I failed my master's degree. I wasn't in a good place. I was struggling with suicidal depression whilst I was undertaking my master's degree, and I submitted my first draft and it failed, and I had to wait a whole year to be able to submit my second draft. But what that taught me was that actually I needed to spend more time on myself and my own healing before I could move forwards and help other people. And in resubmitting my master's, it gave me more information about myself as a leader, myself as a person, my own traits, my behaviours, and how I can use those and work with my strengths and my weaknesses to help other people in their own healing journeys.
That's fascinating. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show to dive deeper into each of these questions. But for now, one thing that I often say is, and I tell this to my employees and the people who work with me and for me all the time, is that when a tree falls in the forest, if nobody hears it, did that tree actually fall? This brings me to this next question. How do you make sure that all of these amazing projects that you're involved in get noticed? What marketing and advertising methods have worked best for you? You've got a minute. Let's go.
For me personally, it's an area I struggle with. However, my social media is growing on every single platform. So I am reaching people, and I do believe that the people who need to hear my message will find me. It's all about energy and energetics. I don't do marketing per se. I just share my story, the healing that I've done, health and healing tips that I've learned, information I share from other people that I've gleaned from either writing my book or sharing on a podcast or from a client, all to help other people.
That was so awesome. We're definitely going to dive deeper into this on a later show. And as we approach our last question, before we ask people how people can get a hold of you, how people can reach you, learn more about the work that you're doing in your company, and we will include all that information in the show notes, what I wanted to ask you is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to your younger self, to our audience, and to somebody, especially somebody who's just starting out in the same niche that you're in, but just doesn't know how to start or get going?
The advice I would offer is just do it. You're never ever going to think that you're ready. So just jump in and learn as you go. And that's what I did. And even still now, I push myself to do things that I don't feel ready to do. But in pushing myself to do those, it builds comfort zones, it builds confidence, and it helps us to believe in ourselves that we are able, because we see tangible results around us reflecting back the actions that we've taken that came from the thoughts we had about the future that we wanted. So just jump in with both feet and do whatever it is you want to do, and just believe in yourself. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You know, we can mess up, but nobody gets hurt in doing so. And we learn more from the valleys than we do from the peaks of the mountains.
Amazing stuff. We're going to have to thank our guest today for being a guest on Business Story of the Week. And before we cut out on this episode, I wanted to ask you, how can people get a hold of you? How can people learn more about what you're doing? And how do people engage with you? And we will transcribe this and put it in the show notes for everybody to find.
Thank you. You can find me on my website, www.sarahdawkins.com, SarahDawkins.com. Links to all my socials, my podcasts, my books, all there, and my email is there as well. Please get in touch, reach out, and let's have a conversation.